Culture is unique to each family. It is what makes it so special to us. A cultural artifact is something that has special meaning to your family. My cultural artifact is this rosary. I know you've seen a cross, but that's only because it's been through 5 generations, and it's very delicate. Any little thing breaks it. And I'm telling you because I had it with half the cross and it's gone already. I have been told the story over and over. My great-great-grandmother saw this rosary in a market while she was traveling and she fell in love with it. It was meant to be for her oldest offspring. When her first child was born, she handed it off to her daughter as a token of love. My great-aunt decided to expand this handoff of the rosary to the oldest of the new generation, whether it was her niece, nephew, son, or daughter. She thought it would be a better idea that the leader of the generation should hold this very precious token that represented family love and strength. It was a big reminder for the oldest to give the younger ones an example of family love and strength. My great-aunt noticed that all her siblings looked up to her like she looked up to her older cousins. She believed that the oldest of the generation was the one loyal to the rest. So they needed to show strength, show pride in their family and culture, which she thought reflected the love for the family. She handed it off to her nephew, my grandfather. My grandfather had the first child of the new generation, his daughter, who is also known as my aunt. She now had the rosary in her hand, and she was the leader of her generation. Out of her siblings and cousins, her sister was the first one to have a child. For 18 years now, I've had this rosary with me. It was introduced to me until I was 10, but since I could remember, it had always been hung up in my room. First time I held it was when I was told the story and why it was my turn to hold on to this beautiful rosary. Being the oldest has been tough, because I have to remind myself that I am the one that little kids look up to me and my family. Every morning I wake up for class with the rosary right next to my head to remind me that if I can get my degree, the little youngsters won't hesitate to think it isn't possible. I love my family token, and I'm so fortunate to have something so special like this.
Oh, Maria, how did this go compared to the last? Okay. What did you notice?
I'll do the order.
No. I have really bad allergies.
What else?
It hurts. Which one do you do? I'm sorry. I have the worst allergies ever. I can do. Wait, what did you say?
I said delivery.
I'll do content.
Audience. 2 minutes if you could, please.
Okay. I'll do delivery. I think it's very, very obvious that you're like that's something you care about because anytime you would look at it, you would sort of get the smile on your face and like it means a lot to you. So I feel like that helped the delivery a lot because it's something that like you actually care about. You're not just using it to have something to talk about. I would say though that like when you look down, be careful not to like talk for too long while you're looking down as opposed to like keeping eye contact with the audience. But besides that, I think it was good.
For content, I really liked how personal you made your speech. I thought the part when you said, if I can get my degree, then my younger siblings will know that they can do it too. That part was really touching, I thought. It was like pulling at the heartstrings. I would just say when you were holding it, I really liked when you were like looking at it, but I'd also make sure that you look at the audience just a little bit more. But I liked that your tone matched kind of like your sentimental reflection of your rosary, which I thought was really nice.
For your structure, I thought the whole like body was good because you really told the story very well. I also liked how you brought it up early and you like pulled it out early, and then so we knew what it was and you could just like explain everything from there. So.
Okay. Maria, first of all, I would definitely say that this one was better than the last one. In a couple of different, for a couple of different reasons. Number one, there was there was something that was really authentic about it. And the honesty came through, and just being authentic in who you are and what that represents to you, that really came through and as you told the story. And there was something that you did very early on in your speech, and you said something about, I've heard the story any number of times, a number of times, and let me tell it to you. There's something about that's that longevity. The storytelling has a really profound effect on people, and so knowing that you have a family story that's attached to your cultural artifact, which then you shared to us. There's something about that continuity that has a richness to it. So thank you for that. I would say chronologically you laid it out well. I would say your attention getter was okay. The rest of your introduction I think worked. You certainly had your credibility around that, and just telling us that you're going to tell us a story has something that draws us in, and you pretty effectively laid that out. Speaking rate, maybe just slow down just a little bit. And eye contact, let's make a little bit more. So we can rely a little less heavily on our notes. This is a story you've heard. It's a story that you can just talk about. Thank you for sharing that with us and bringing it in. I know it's a delicate piece, and we don't want anything to happen to it. But thank you for bringing that along. And I appreciated that you held it up and then you kept it held up. If you were just to hold it up and then put it down, it would have lost a little bit. So thank you. Let's take a break.
Audrey?
Yeah.
This is from your last speech.
Thank you.
She wanted me to
Watch them all.
yeah, I watched them all. So, bad.
When I talk about it, speeches I haven't heard. I'll
Oh my god, hard.
some of them for next time.
Like chocolate.
Dude, those are yeah, these are the best in the entire world.
I was trying to find the allergies this season are so bad.
You took yours.
Oh, I was gonna sneeze, damn. I'll love this.
It was so bizarre. I wrote this. I read myself first grade at section, and then I cut something.
You probably, you probably, this is probably what you did. You probably went, oh, I cut some off, so now I can go a little slower.
You right?
I got you.
No, I'm just counting on the fact that like if I'm nervous, I speak faster. Hopefully my speech will be so amazing.
About me.
Honestly, I don't think anybody would notice if you're so sorry.
Her speech is about me.
Uh-oh.
1 second.
I'd be like, oh, Sienna, excuse me? That was 3 minutes and 1 second, so I just need to
Classes do cut you a lot. Like,
I don't think she does.
but my other
They do?
I like that she doesn't make a
she
big
had
deal
one
about it.
section left, and then like they like some people they do like
Mhm.
and they count down, and then that's it. You're done. It's like
That's kind of nerve-wracking.
Come on, let me say the last sentence.
Especially because your last sentence is like the one that.
Yeah.
It's like that.
And it's like you still put the effort into the speech. It's not like
You were handing this out, and she was like, "Can you need one?" I was like, "No, I don't. I know exactly what that is." I was like, "I got it."
So I feel really bad that I'm not writing a speech about you. Because I was originally going to think about her, and then like the day before I was thinking about it, I was like, I really don't want to do an interview speech.
This is feedback for you guys.
I almost
the
didn't
day
do it
before.
for
I was like, I can't do it. Like, I'm not gonna like accurately represent them.
Is everybody in the ag,
How
Brad?
shoes.
Do you sign up for 2?
No, I only signed up for 1. I think next week's run I'm doing 2. You signed up for 3? Girls.
Because I didn't want to do
Many times.
That's such a good idea. Can you do that? I should do that.
I'm sure you can.
I saw yours and I like literally immediately considered changing it. I don't know.
It makes me kind of uncomfortable.
I like
It's
it.
really cool, but like it makes me kind of uncomfortable.
Kaylee, you
Yeah.
know, Pruitt is trying to get a cabinet.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna mention that. Like, I want to go on that side of it.
So you're a St. Cass? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Lucy's my roommate. Lucy.
That's part of like the controversy.
Oh yeah. Because I saw you guys. I was like, oh, that's so weird. Yeah. Funny.
I think so. Like, go to your mom and turn up.
No, like just like shit ton of vibes. Lucy's also a vibe. Yeah. And then love her.
My friend, she has and it smelled really good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Penelope.
I've seen that.
I just watched it. It's funny. Okay, she wasn't like that ugly though. But I was watching it, I was like, and then she like got rid of the makeup, and was like, honestly, even like Ramadan
He ran a nude to my house and I have no idea who the fuck
I'm going to the doctor for the body, I'm really gonna get
yeah, like two dudes ran in, one dude had like
I'm really nervous I'm gonna start like that. About
Yeah.
because I'll be like awkward.
Right. You crashed this side. Yeah, if anybody saw it.
I'm just like banging
I'm
it up
just
there.
smiling
It was
really
this
big.
little girl and her mom, and they were trying to. It looked like.
I try to do that when everybody speaks, but then sometimes the people stare at me
And
too
it
long,
was
and I'm like,
everything that they go through in order to do it. But
Oh, I
I
have
don't
the
know how it
worst
ends.
resting but like, I try to keep an eye on it, but I'm like,
my mom has the worst RBF ever.
I really do too. Literally, when I walk around campus, like I have to be thinking about it so that I don't look like
What's the guy version called?
I have no idea.
Still RBF for guys.
Probably still a rest of this page,
Still
yeah.
probably.
I heard it was something else for guys. I
And we like see his like.
think I have it.
oh yeah, so we're doing the
Yeah, like the first one. The second quarter is pretty awful.
I'm so glad I'm done.
Yeah.
it's got a lot.
Now you're recording.
What?
Yeah, you're recording.
Yeah, I don't. Is it still going?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
There's gonna be enough people.
15 minutes.
Yeah.
Whoopsie.